Hello everybody, Iggy here and welcome to another online guitar lesson. Today guys, I would like to talk about a new topic that is very different from what I've been doing before because it is only about using the fingers of the right hand. The progression that I would like to show to you is very inspired by classical music, but not only. I try to put my personal touch in it, and I hope this will give you some more ideas for your own solos. But guys, before starting this lesson, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also as usual you will find the tabs, the transcriptions, the diagrams, and all the extra contents on my Patreon page. And by subscribing you can always help me in growing this channel. I'm working very hard on giving you the best possible lessons, and it would be very appreciated if you would subscribe to help me this channel to grow. So guys, the first thing first that we have to say is trying to recognize which is the chord progression. This chord progression is formed entirely on the E minor natural scale. So we have as a chord, if we consider only the triads as chords, we have E minor and F sharp diminished, G major, A minor, and B minor, C major, D major, and E minor again. But of course, the arpeggios that I created in this section, especially with the fingers, are arpeggios that extend also to the seventh. So we have to imagine this chord progression as extended to 4 voices in total that include as well the seventh. So if we include the seventh, this chord progression becomes E minor 7, F sharp half diminished or minor 7 flat 5, G major 7th, and A minor 7th, B minor 7th, and C major 7th, D 7th, and A minor 7th again. So the very magic trick behind this arpeggio idea is the use of the right hand. So let's try to be focused now on how to use the right hand, because of course there are so many approaches to the right hand in particular, but if you don't have the right approach, you risk to screw it up completely. And also it's very important to have the right approach in order to obtain the best possible sound. This approach includes the fact that we have to put our wrist a little bit outside. So what I don't want to see in general is keeping the wrist here, like attached to the strings in general. Okay, so I want the wrist up like this. And in general, when we touch one single string, we have to imagine that our movements, I'll show it to you like this, our movements goes towards the palm of the hand. So I don't want to see movements like this, for example, because this is like sounds a little bit terrible. You know, there are most of guitarists just approach this technique tend to do this. Okay, this is very wrong in the sense that the sound is gonna be not good at all. But try yourself to listen to the sound. So this is a richer sound compared to this one, right? And also in this case, your right hand is completely, rigid and in tension, and this is something that we don't want, right? Going to the left hand, what I do is considering the arpeggios, and for example, for E minor 7th, I play E, G, B, D, okay, which is E minor 7 arpeggio, but then I add the 11th. And then I move the 11th to the 5th again here on the high section. So it becomes. So it's important to understand that when I play the first 2 notes, the first one is played with the thumb, and the second one is completely, it uses the legato entirely. So. Okay, so this is the entire section. Okay, and then we go forward and we use the same idea and type of shape for F sharp half diminished. Okay, so for F sharp half diminished, we have F sharp, A, C, and E, natural E again. And then I go up to A, and then I move to B again here in the higher section again. So and then I move to G major 7th. Okay, so it becomes G, B, D, F sharp, and B, and then extend to D, high D here. Okay, the shape is always the same for the right hand. Okay, so thumb, legato, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and thumb and legato again. So thumb, legato, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, thumb, legato. Okay, so on the 5th string, I create always a picked note and then a legato. Okay, now we have a different chord that is G sharp diminished, or 7th diminished if we consider this chord as a chord developed on 4 notes. And the peculiarity of this chord is that this is entirely symmetrical. So this means that it's developed it's developed entirely on minor 3rd. So we have G sharp, B, D, F, and then G sharp again, and extend to B, high B. And the peculiarity of this chord is that it creates some sort of chromatic passage between one chord and another one. For example, G sharp, 7th diminished, and A. Okay, so it creates these beautiful chord progressions like very Christmassy. Okay, so what we have now is another passage that goes to A minor, or A minor 7th. And then for A minor 7th and B minor 7th, the shapes are the same as E minor 7th. So for A minor 7th, we have A, C, E, G, and D, and then we go up to here to natural E. And we do the same also for B. B, D, D, A, E, and A sharp. Okay, and then we do the same also with C, which is exactly the same shape that we have for G. Okay, so C, E, and G, B, E, and extended to high G. Okay, and remember, always same pattern with the right hand. So thumb, legato, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, thumb, legato again. Okay. And then we have D7th. It's very difficult to be played here because, of course, we don't have space enough. So D, F sharp, A, and C, and F sharp again extended on the 22th fret on A. Okay, so okay again. And then we end all the entire section with an E minor arpeggio. again. So guys, it's everything I have for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also leave a comment in the section. And I would like to know which are other ideas that you would like me to talk about. You can always add me on Instagram and TikTok. I love to connect on these platforms with you as well. And thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all next time.